Hello and welcome all to day two of our workshop, Your 2026 Diet Plan, a morning drink that makes adulting feel effortless. And today we have with us here for our session six is dietitian Dhruvi. And before we begin with the session, let's talk a little about her. So today's speaker works closely with high-performing professionals and founders, helping them improve their health through simple, sustainable systems. Her approach is science-based and focused on real behavioral change. Please welcome Ms. Dhruvi Betai. She's the founder of Eve Health, and we are really thankful for you to join us today here.
Thank you so much, Khadija, for that lovely introduction. I would also like to add that I started my career in the corporate space. I worked as a product manager for 2 years and as a designer before that. And then I moved on to health coaching, and 2025 was the year when I started doing it full time. So I'm very lucky to be here and happy to share everything that I learned from my experience. Yeah.
So, given that, what do you think is the biggest mistake high performing professionals make in their career?
I think a lot of times for them, the mindset that they come with is, we don't have time for health. And this isn't something that's on our radar or something that's important right now until everything goes wrong. That is when they start prioritizing. And then at that point, things become slightly difficult because, there's like so much now to take care of versus
Yeah,
if you initially start with smaller habits, smaller things that you do for yourself, you might never get to that point, right? So I think that's important.
yeah, and I've even seen a lot of clients, and their sleep schedule is all messed up. The only thing they focus on is trying to eat, whatever is easily available, easily accessible, and then that is it. If they're doing that right, they feel everything will go right. But unless your stress and your sleep and the other factors are managed, that good diet, even if you're having, will not, really benefit you at the end of the day.
Yes, yes, that's very true. Again, stress is so common in that particular space, which is why it's important to regularly manage it and find your unique way in which you can do that, right? So, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Now, coming to how do you really help clients stay consistent despite their busy schedule? Is there something you would like to share with the audience? Some key point to consider?
Yeah, I would say two things here. One is to keep things ridiculously simple. You don't have to complicate it. It doesn't have to be a 10-step routine. So, two to three things that can give you maximum result and that you can stick to every single day is extremely important. And I think the second point is this looks very different for different people, right? Everybody has different capacities, so you need to figure that out and then stick to that so that you actually get the benefit of your effort.
And what would be that one thing they should literally stop doing?
Stop doing, stop stressing, maybe stop uh, doing things, because especially when people are stressed they end up doing things that they probably would not want to. And in corporate, these habits are very common. People end up smoking a lot, they end up drinking a lot, right? So minimizing
Yeah.
that or paying attention to these habits, starting there and then doing everything else is again a good option. Yeah.
Okay, with that, I think let's begin with our episode six, the 9 to 5 energy solution.
Yes.
And I think I'll add your presentation to the stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I will start. Yes. So I have the topic the 9 to 5 energy solution today. And what I'm going to equip you guys today is the three key pillars of health that I also help a lot of founders and leaders navigate. The first one being systems, which essentially talks about where are you spending your energy right now, right? All of us, we do so many things every single day. Some of these are important, some not so much, right? because these things can easily be automated. So you can think of systems also as habits, and the whole purpose of having systems is these are certain default actions that remove thinking out of the equation. So we all breakfast is common for us, lunch is common for us. If you're serious about your movement, that is common for us, right? So automating these things and making sure that there are default solutions in place for all of these actions, it just makes your life much easier. Because what happens is over time you will end up saving hours, you protect your mental bandwidth, and your health is also consistently improving while you are doing this, right? And in some ways, I see this in clients that I work with. What it looks like is having a default breakfast option. I know that having variety is great, but for someone who is in corporate, somebody who has a very demanding job, making new things every single day might not be easy. In fact, some of my clients actually thrive when I ask them that, okay, you have a protein shake, you have some fiber on the side, and then that's it. That can be your default breakfast as well. And the same applies for lunch. So how it works is you identify things that work for you, and you are very well aware of everything that doesn't work for you, right? And then you combine these things and figure out your default options. Next comes fixed movement routine. So every single day when you wake up in the morning, the question shouldn't be, oh, whether am I going to work out or not. You will, but what is it that you are going to do today, right? Next comes meal prep. I know there's a lot of controversy around it, but when done correctly, especially for people with busy schedules, this can help save tons of energy. And if there is an option that is, better compared to all of the junk or all of the packaged solutions that we get that are readily available, then why not try that out, right? Last, and a very different way in which I see people practice systems is that they have a fixed work wardrobe. And the reason why I'm adding this is because the whole idea is to automate things. It could literally be anything, but you automate certain parts and structures of your life, put it into a defined system, and then you keep following it every single day. The desired outcome will be that when you reduce the number of decisions you have to make, you increase the quality of decisions that actually matter to you. So let's say that there are 5 decisions that by default you make. 3 of these are maybe related to your lifestyle. But when that is set into structure, the two important work related or anything else, any other decision that you have to make, these will be high quality decisions, right? So that is what we are aiming here. Next comes emotional regulation, which is what do you let bother you. And notice how I am saying what do you let bother you and not what bothers you, because the control again is always with us, and we are always in charge of our emotions. Now, one of the ways in which I really like explaining this concept is we all use laptops, we all use mobile phones, right? What happens when we have too many tabs open, or what happens when we have too many applications open? It takes battery, it takes space, and this is exactly how our brain works. When we have too many unregulated emotions going on in our head, it takes up space, right? And it takes up energy. And it could be anything, maybe some argument we had with our partner, or something that happened at work, or something that's really stressing you out. It is important that we regulate these emotions and let all of that out, so that we can actually focus. Yeah, so as I said, it impacts two things: your decision making ability and your finite daily energy. And unregulated emotions will drain more energy than any workday ever will. Because I see a lot of clients coming in and they say how, their day was very heavy and everything felt, that things are too busy. But in hindsight, they didn't do much, but things were still busy. So a lot of times that happens because you're carrying all of this weight with you, and you're going through your day with all of this weight, right? So a clear head means 100% of your available energy can be focused on the task at hand, which also means when you are putting in your 100%, you can expect maximum output, and the quality of your work will also increase. So I think it's very important that you find your own way of regulating your emotions so that you can get the most out of your finite daily energy levels. The cost of a crowded mind. And there are two things that happen in this case, right? First is we are forced to carry that significant portion of our energy into our daily, daily every single day. So that happens. And second is, in all of the chaos and noise, you actually end up missing something that is very important to you. And for creative people, it can be an idea, because you were very busy overthinking, over analyzing, you were too busy stressed, you didn't have the mental bandwidth, and you ended up missing some important or crucial detail that could have been life changing for you, right? The same happens when we have too many tabs open. It's very easy to miss a notification in some other tab, right? So that's exactly how it works in case of our mind as well. What works is you end up playing a sport, and this is purely for fun, nothing else, no competition. You're just trying to enjoy things. You go for a walk, or you go for a long run. You take therapy, which helps a lot, or you actually talk to someone you trust, who will help you navigate these emotions and process them in a healthier way, and not relying on smoking or alcohol usage for this. You end up journaling, or you take intentional buffer breaks. Now, how I like to think is, we all know that our stomach requires time to digest food, right? In the same exact way, our brain also needs time to digest information. So when we take these intentional buffer breaks between meetings that are high stress, we end up giving ourselves that time, and then the next meeting is definitely a lot better. The desired outcome is that you process things in a healthier way, and you keep your head clear so that you can focus on the task that is at hand. And the next point, which a lot of you must be familiar with, is nutrition, which is what is on our plate, right? And I truly believe that nutrition can decide if you will have steady, reliable energy levels or brutal ups and downs throughout the day. And while there are multiple ways in which we can understand how nutrition plays a role, if you want to look at your life, and what I see in corporate is people drinking way too many cups of coffees because they are low and they need that quick shot of adrenaline so that they can finish off the work that they have, or you're extremely exhausted or sleepy after lunch, or you feel like you just want to take a nap. So these are two ways in which they show up for these people. And what can you do? As I said, I like to keep things very, very simple. And I know that even these things are very difficult for people to sometimes follow through. So this can be a great starting point, assuming that you don't have any other health concerns that you're also dealing with. But simple thing like paying attention to how much carb and protein are we consuming every single day, because I haven't worked with any client who's told me that protein didn't help them. Adding sufficient protein can easily give you steady energy levels throughout the day, because by default it will keep you full and you won't have that much space in your stomach for carbs or anything else that might make you lethargic. Second, adding healthy fats. I know fats have a bad reputation because we feel that they might end up making us fat. At least that's what a lot of people think. But adding healthier ones like nuts, seeds, olive oil, ghee, whatever you possibly can definitely help a lot. And third, I like to call it the cheat code, right? Like, it's the easiest way in which you can deal with your brain fog, your low energy levels, is by correcting nutritional deficiencies. Because in India today, so many people are deficient in vitamin D. Every other person you meet is either deficient in B12 or D, right? So correcting these nutritional deficiencies is kind of like the easiest way in which you can take care of your health. Lastly, what I would like to say is you need to be extremely mindful of how you spend your energy every single day. We all wake up, and every single day we have two choices, right? Either we work out, or we just end up scrolling. And one of this choice is going to take us closer to our dream. Both these choices will cost us energy, right? Like you'll end up spending some energy in your workout, or you'll end up spending some energy scrolling. But the workout will take you closer to your dreams, and the other one might not do that, right? And you'll also end up feeling much better if you've already gotten a workout in. But in the end, the choice is always yours, and you decide how you want the rest of your day and the rest of your life to look like. Thank you so much. And if you would like to connect with me, my Instagram ID is right here, and my email ID as well. If you have anything you want to say, drop me an email, drop me a message, and I would be happy to answer that. But yeah, thank you.
That was a really power pack session, and you covered all the things from how, what works psychologically, what works with the routine that people have when it comes to their 9 to 5 jobs, and then finally coming to nutrition. So we have a little bit of a presentation which we will cover up with a little bit of discussion, and then we'll go ahead with the Q&A from the comment section. So we spoke about how to, outsmart the 3 p.m. term. So the psychology of this energy dip, that's what we're going to discuss. So it's a mix of dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, and blood sugar dips, as well as your cortisol level drops naturally in the afternoon. So the caffeine spike, if you're having a, big glass of coffee in the morning or tea in the morning, that spike at the wrong time can worsen this fatigue later. So even 1 to 2% of dehydration can impair your focus, your reduce your reaction time, increase the effort you need for your work. So your body doesn't really crave another coffee by the time you feel dehydrated by 4 or 5. You feel like, oh, I need one more cup of coffee or one more cup of tea, but that's not the case. It's asking for minerals and water, which is the thing that is making you feel that way. So these are the minerals that you would need instead of really having again a dose of coffee or tea. There is definitely caffeine that will boost alertness, but you need sodium, potassium, magnesium. Sodium helps manage the fluid balance, potassium prevents the fatigue and supports the nerves, and magnesium reduces the muscle fatigue. So there are different sources they are mentioned here, along with that smart tips on how to include those into your drinks. So now this is your uh, Indian hydration recipe, because working at 9 to 5, I'm pretty sure most of you forget to drink water or sip on your water. So to make your own recipe, just add a, water, add a pinch of salt, squeeze lemon, and that is good enough to boost your hydration throughout the day compared to just having plain water. But along with this, you can even, make it more fancy. Add some sort of magnesium powder. You get these on Amazon, and you can check the serving size, and only based on that have it, and please consult someone before you're consuming any supplements. Or you can add some orange juice, grapefruit fruit juice, or your chas, buttermilk, nimbu pani. All of those are great. A recent study showed that the electrolyte replenishment combined with mild caffeine can improve sustained energy, mental performance, hydration compared to only caffeine alone. So instead of having only caffeine, if you are having some your caffeine with a pinch of salt, you know, uh, that will better help you work throughout the day than just having plain coffee. So now this I have pulled out the caffeine content in different drinks. So we have espresso, then there's matcha, black tea, green tea, and then there are these uh, various different kinds of teas. I'm not sure if you all have tried these, but you can see how uh, green tea has the least, and then followed by all of these. And when you come to hot coffee, cold brew, and all, it's the caffeine spectrum is really high. So, based on this, you can figure out what kind of drink you want to have. And given you can even check herbal teas, it is zero caffeine because there is no coffee you add to it. So, that is something you need to consider when you choose the kind of tea you want to have. So, a good what do you say, a good tip to remember is black in the morning, herbal in the evening. So if you're having tea, coffee, have the black coffees or the black teas and all the, high caffeine content and tannin rich drinks in the morning, followed by in the evening all the herbal ones, which are zero caffeine content drinks. Now, giving a small tip on how to make your own drink, you can have coconut water, half a lemon juice, add some rock salt, even your iodized regular table salt, a little bit of it, and some sort of honey or a sweetener if you would like to have that, some mint leaves, and you can just chill and sip on it. Now, why does this drink work better than the others that we have, already spoken about in yesterday's workshops as well? Because coconut water is a natural source of potassium and hydration. Vitamin C you're getting from the lemon, and rock salt will give you all the trace minerals that you need to restore this electrolyte balance. So, along with that, avoiding the energy drink pitfalls, because maximum of these energy drinks have more than 5 grams of sugar per serving, which is going to give you that, high in sugar and then the crash. And then again, you will be craving something. So having avoiding these energy drinks and all the hidden sugars that come along with that. So these cans contain 25 to 30 grams, that is almost 6 teaspoons of sugar. And then there is synthetic caffeine as well that will cause the spike and crashes. Then artificial additives, definitely, and all the artificial sweeteners along with that. So choose natural options like cold brew coffee, then green teas, chas, or even fruit infused waters. Those are better options. So this is for the audience. What's your go-to energy fix? Put in the answers in the comment section, and we will get back to you with the right answer, or what should be your choice of drink. So, do you realize hydration is the real fix from this workshop? Is your takeaway, and that is what we want to convey at the end of the session. And another morning drink, you can just have again coconut water, lemon plus salt. That's the best combination. And this is something you should avoid having towards the end of the day, something more in the early parts of the day, because this will give you a little bit of sugar high as well. So having this in the early parts of the day is better. Other alternatives is again a combination of these drinks, and they're simply going to boost your electrolytes and give you the probiotics that you need, as well as give you the antioxidants. One more tip: before, drink a glass of water 15 minutes before your first coffee. I would say 30 minutes, but begin your day with water, then have your smart drink, have your breakfast, then have your coffee. And it improves caffeine absorption as well as it prevents dehydration and the acid reflux that people talk about. With that, I would like to conclude the session and we will take the questions from the audience. Dhruvi, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm right here.
Yep. So there is a question that says, why do I feel super active in the morning but totally drained by 3 p.m.? Could my morning drink be the problem?
Depends, yeah. What is the morning drink, first of all, in question, and how are you having it? I feel having tea first thing in the morning on empty stomach might not be a very good idea. Versus, you starting with a high protein, high fat breakfast might help. And even in terms of being drained, this is one more thing that I see a lot. A lot of these high performance professionals, they take their important decisions in the first few hours of waking. So anything that I have to decide, any important decision that I have to make, I will do that in the morning. And then throughout the day, they spend that on execution, right? So that's just kind of because, as I said, energy is finite. You're going to end up spending it in some way. So it's better to arrange your tasks like this. Yeah.
Okay. I think that has answered your question. There is another question that says you said to add a pinch of salt in coffee, so should it be added in black coffee only, right? Yes, it should be added only in black coffee because otherwise, normal milk will curdle. So, yeah. Next question. If you had to make one perfect morning drink for people who sit at desk all day, what would you put in it?
Uh, Morning drink. I think your presentation had it. The coconut water with salt is a great option. Anything else? I think if you are mindfully having coffee, maybe decaf in a way that it helps along with proper meal, that can be a good option too.
Yeah. And I think drink, if you're sitting all day, opt for something that is low cal because you're at the end just sitting all day. So, your lifestyle is sedentary, that means, and then that automatically means whatever you're eating is just going to burn through your basal metabolic rate and not through any, external activity that you're doing. So opt for the lowest calorie drink, that is one. Along with that depends on all the comorbidities that you have. Uh, okay, there is a repeated question. Is black tea good for health? You would like to take that?
Yeah, I think black tea is good for health. I think it's a bit of an incomplete question, right? Depends how you have it, when you have it. I think I would consider that before answering this. You can add to this, Khadija, maybe.
Uh, I don't think there is any tea, any coffee, any chai bad for health as such. But it depends on the timing, why you're having it, with what you're having it. Is it, sugar loaded? So, okay, they have added to it. Is black tea good for health in the morning? It's okay. If you like black tea, you can have it. There's no harm in it. But don't have it
Exactly.
as the first drink in the morning. That is
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I think, yeah, we are done with the questions. Thank you so much for joining us. And it was a great session. We had a lot of insights from how our routine should be given if you're working 9 to 5, and a lot of drink options that we discussed. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.